Hey guys, this is JD with In Session Film. This is a new video as part of our new video series. This is more podcast form since I've been traveling a lot more lately than video form. But a few days ago, I got a chance to tweet out that I got another chance to listen to the score for Wreck-It Ralph, which was done by Henry Jackman, and it's a terrific score. It's a fun score. It's one that I would recommend. And so it got me thinking of some other scores that I'd like to talk about for you guys to have a chance to listen to. And these aren't necessarily the greatest scores of all time, but they're 5 great scores that I think are really fun to listen to and that were really well done from some decent movies. The first one I'd like to talk about is Pearl Harbor. The score for this was done really, really well. It was done by Hans Zimmer. It was a different type of movie, I think, for Michael Bay than, let's say, Transformers or Bad Boys. In terms of, I liked the script for this movie. It was actually done really well. Versus Transformers and Bad Boys. Obviously, those are more action films. They're not really, meant for having a good script. But I liked the story for Pearl Harbor, and I thought Hans Zimmer's score fit in perfectly with it. The action sequences had some really great music behind them. The more serious, dramatic parts had some even greater tones to it. And it's one that is, it's kind of serious, and sometimes it sounds even a little sad and depressing, but it fits the movie really well. And even on a listen on its own, it's actually a good listen to. And I think if you're really in the mood for it, it can really do a lot for you. So I really enjoy it quite a bit. It has some great vocal backgrounds in it, kind of some laid back tones, great orchestra elements into it. It was really well done by Hans Zimmer. The next one I want to talk about is the movie Warrior, which was one of the most surprising movies I've ever seen, and it is definitely in my top 5 for reasons that we'll have to talk about at a later date. But this movie was scored by Mark Isham, which was amazingly well done. A really great job of incorporating Beethoven into the score, which, if you've seen the movie, makes perfect sense. It's very serious, yet it's soothing, and it's fun, and it's upbeat at times. And the ending sequence the score has with the song About Today by The National is perfectly executed. If you haven't seen that last sequence and you don't like it, I have no idea how you can live with yourself, because it is absolutely amazing. I guess I could understand why some people don't like it, but I love the movie. I'm obviously a little bit biased because I like it so much, but I thought it was perfectly executed. It's such a good song on its own from The National, and then what Mark Isham does with it, I think, is fantastic. The next one I want to talk about is Tron Legacy. Again, another surprising movie. I didn't expect this one to be great, but I actually kind of enjoyed it, even though it didn't do very well critically. But Daft Punk, who's not a traditional composer, obviously he's a DJ, does the score for this film, and it's great. It's very fun. It's very different. It's obviously got a lot of hip-hop beats, but it fits perfectly. It fits the tone of the movie and the whole idea of being digital and being inside a computer. I think it fits the theme of what they were doing really well, and it's a fun listen to. If you like that kind of stuff, and if you like Daft Punk, it's a terrific score. It's a fun listen to. The next one I want to talk about is a score that you may not have heard of by the name, but you've probably heard some of the sounds of it, and it's the documentary Vietnam in HD, which was done by the History Channel. This had a lot of different composers in it, but the main composer was a guy by the name of Nick Phoenix. And some of the tracks for this was really, really great. They were very serious tones. They were full of energy, had a lot of upbeats, and it was a lot of great orchestra elements. It's really great. Some of these tracks are even in my workout routines because they're so upbeat and so full of energy. It was really, really great done. a lot of these have actually been used in lots of other commercials and in trailers and in lots of other things. So there's a good chance if you've heard some of these tracks without knowing about it. And then the last one I want to talk about on my list, and I'm very biased about this, and if you know me, you're not going to be surprised, but it is Transformers. It's my favorite movie theme of all time. Steve Jablonsky, who does this score, is amazing at it. It's perfectly executed with some great orchestral elements. It's got a great vocal background again. He also does a great job of incorporating some Linkin Park into the soundtrack and into the score a little bit. So it is just really great done. It's so fun to listen to, and as a comic book movie, as an action movie, he does an absolute great job. To me, it's a shame he was never he never won an award for that. And I don't even think he was nominated for anything. So, but a lot of people have used this theme for lots of other things in the past. So, absolutely great theme. Definitely go check it out. I also kind of wrote some notables on here, some fun other ones that you can go and check out. Top Gun is obviously a fun soundtrack that's done really well that a lot of people know about. Pirates of the Caribbean is another popular one that people tend to know, which is a fun one. X-Men First Class, I don't know if you've heard the score from that one. It's kind of popular. That one was also done by Henry Jackman, who did Wreck-It Ralph, which, again, as I've talked about quite a bit on our podcast before, is one that's really great. So go check it out, X-Men First Class. It's a fun one. And maybe the most surprising one of all time to me, personally, was The Last Airbender. Horrible movie. Did not like it at all. But the score was fantastic. It was done by James Newton Howard, and for such a bad movie, the score does not deserve to be in it. It's absolutely terrific. James Newton Howard kills it. I actually bought the DVD for $5 because the score was absolutely terrific in it. It was the only reason I wanted to buy it. Except the visual effects in it were actually kind of cool too, but that's the only reason that I would really watch the movie. But go check out the score. Since the movie's terrible, I don't really recommend watching it. You can if you really want to listen to the score, and some of the visuals are good, like I said. But the score by itself is actually really well done, and I would highly recommend it. So there's a few. There's obviously a lot more scores that we could talk about, but those are a few that I would love or that I would recommend for you to go and check out. So we'll have some more stuff this weekend, so be sure to check us out. This weekend we're actually going to be we're going to review Olympus Has Fallen and G.I. Joe Retaliation, so be sure to check that out, and we'll have more at InSessionFilm.com.